All right, so we're gonna update our school loop gradebook based on the new guidance from the district about how to set up for the fourth quarter here. So where this is coming from is again the document that was sent out talks about the fourth quarter grades where credit is a minimum of 60%, and then we have some additional codes that we can put in the gradebook where we have that we can update those pieces as well. So you're going to start in School Loop, and then we're going to whatever grade book you want to start at. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to start with my comp sci grade book, and then you click on your grade book, and then you click on Tools, and then to get to Tools, you're then going to go down to the bottom right, and you're going to click on Gradebook Settings. So these are these universal grade scales that we're going to need to adjust. That we're going to adjust the custom codes, and then we're going to adjust the grade scale, and then we can also turn percentages back on for students so they can see where they are and how close they are to that threshold. All right, so I'm going to start with the grade scale part. So I'm going to click on grade scale. We had before we set up the credit, no credit grade scale, but just put in this placeholder of in progress. And so what we want to do now is we want to edit this. So we're going to click on edit. We leave the title the same. And then we're going to insert a new grade label, and we're going to call it credit. And we're going to set the percent floor at 60%. So 60% and above is going to count for credit, and hit submit. And then we're going to insert another grade label. This is no credit. Its percent floor is 0. So this will be our two options. So you are either getting credit or no credit, and now we can finally delete this in progress grade label. And so again, you should see two grade labels, credit, no credit, and then the floor for credit is 60%, and then go ahead and hit submit. All right. So you've created it, and then you should make sure that this component here, that you're still using that grade scale for each grade book. You're probably going to have to go back. I think School Loop will default everything once you change a grade scale to this default scale. So just make sure that every grade book you have is going back to credit, no credit, using that scale, and hit submit. All right. So we've put in the grade scales. And we also have in this document these additional codes. So we have credit, missing, in progress, and no credit. And so we've already done the credit, no credit components, so CR and NC. We can add missing, and we can add in progress if you would like to. So the way that you would do that is you go back to your gradebook settings, and these are these custom codes. So we're going to click go. You have two sitting here. So we're going to add the additional two. So I'm going to add missing, which I believe is M. Right, so missing is M. And then I'm going to just copy this text that the assignment is missing, and then they're provided with an opportunity to make up work. And then I'm going to, at the front, say missing. And then I'm going to count it as a 0. I'm going to click submit. And then you don't have to use these, right? These are here if you want to specify between something that was no credit or was missing. And then the next one is in progress. So copy this whole thing and create a new code. And this is IP. Paste that in there. Make sure the front is there. All right. So this is in progress, and then I'm going to count it at 50%. We'll see if there's real guidance on whether that should be 50%. The reason I'm counting it at 50% is if I have a kid that has a full credit assignment and then an in progress assignment, that would average out to still be credit. So you get a 75%, which would still be a credit score. But I don't want to count it as a 0 since it was something. So I'm counting it for half credit. But that's just a kind of arbitrary decision that I made. All right, I'm going to hit submit. So now I have my 4 custom codes sitting there. And what I should see is, again, that the credit and no credit are the same. And then I have these 2 additional ones that I can use to grade stuff if I would like to. All right. And now I'm going to go back to my gradebook settings. So I'm going to click up here. And if I look at my gradebook right now, so if I look at my computer science gradebook, I can see that now that they've shifted to no credit and credit. And we see that we have a score below 60% is no credit, and then everything above is credit. Let me look at my other. So that's come through. If I still look, though, at a student's progress report, that it still is going to say credit, and it's not going to give them that percentage, so they don't know how close they are to credit or no credit. So I'm going to turn the percentages back on so that students have an idea of where they are to that threshold of credit versus no credit. So the way that you would do that is, again, you just be in your gradebook and in your tools, you go over to gradebook settings and then down to mastery or traditional reports. And we go back to traditional. So traditional is going to give them that percentage component. I hit submit. And that should update for all of your grades, all of your gradebooks. And now when I go back to my computer science gradebook, it's going to look the same on this end, but if I look at a student record, hopefully I'm going to see that, yes. So he sees that he has credit and he has 100%. And that shows me, again, we'll give them some indication of where they are in your course. Now, that doesn't necessarily, let's look at my other grade books. Oh, and that did come through. So I don't have to go back, and that should be it. So I thought maybe you'd have to go back and specify that each one uses the credit, no credit scale again, but it looks like that's come through. So that should do it. So again, if you get stuck, pretty much everything is in the Tools tab and then Gradebook Settings. All you're adjusting is what that grade scale, that credit, no credit grade scale looks like, taking the in progress away from it, adding the additional custom codes if you want to, and then again, going from the master traditional reports, going back to that traditional one so that they can see their percentages. All right.